Welcome to the Movies to Watch Before You Die podcast. I am your host, Dylan, along with my cousin, my co-host, the fowl to my Whitaker,
Gab.
She did not know that she was meant to be called a chicken. And we are talking about the 2002 family children's film, Big Fat Liar. And Gab, I want to get straight into it. Can you tell me what is Big Fat Liar about?
What's this all been about? What am I working toward?
Explain! As you would a child.
You think you know everything about me, don't you?
I dive at your bottom. I bloody well ought to.
Big Fat Liar is about Agent Cody Banks, who is a lying sack of shit and has his eighth grade essay stolen by a famous movie producer who then turns it into a movie and does not give him credit. And it is about Agent Cody Banks finding the truth. I was doing so well.
Well, let's see if IMDb agrees with you. I do want to find the IMDb plot summary that also just trails off at the end.
Yeah.
14-year-old Jason Shepard has a reputation for stretching the truth. So when big-time Hollywood producer Marty Wolf steals his class paper and turns it into a smash hit movie, no one believes Jason's latest tall tale.
Yes. So I want to start by saying I've never seen Agent Cody Banks, but every time I see this movie, I think, oh, it's Agent Cody Banks as the kid who lies to everybody. Dill, do you think it's a stretch to suggest that this movie is essentially just The Boy Who Cried Wolf?
It's absolutely The Boy Who Cried Wolf, hence his name being Jason Shepard against Marty Wolf.
Wolf, right.
Yeah, it's not subtle about it, you know?
Oh, am I not like some interpretive literary genius
you think
for figuring that out?
Congratulations, Gab. You cracked the code.
Thank you.
Yeah, way to go. Do you remember the first time you saw the movie is something I'll ask you too. Because was this... I know that we saw it as kids. I cannot tell you if I saw it in theaters the first time I saw it, if I saw it at home. Like, I don't remember.
I don't remember the first time I saw this movie, but I know I've seen it multiple times.
Definitely.
And I think, my memory may not serve me well, but I think the first time I saw it, we got it together at a sleepover, but from like Hollywood Video.
That sounds believable.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like you thought you could just skim past it, but I do have to tell you some taglines.
Oh, okay.
I'll read you the worst one first. Big Fat Liar is an extremely funny comedy filled with nonstop action and hilarious pranks.
No, that is not a tagline.
That's not a tagline, and quite frankly, feels like it was maybe on like a VHS box, and it was like, "Hey, stupid kid!" Like,
yeah, hey parents, you won't hate this.
Look, Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, you know him.
The truth is never overrated.
Okay.
Two friends are about to cut one Hollywood big shot down to size.
I don't hate that one as far as taglines for a children's movie go.
I feel like they said at one point in the movie, and I thought this would have been a good tagline, who among us hasn't told a little white lie?
Oh, I like that too. That would have been better.
Yeah. I feel like, to me, that worked. You know what else stood out watching it this time? I feel like a sleeper cell, I knew that song, the one that was like, come on, and tell me.
Yeah.
And
Smash
I looked it up afterward. I was like, oh my God, a secret Smash Mouth song?
You didn't know that was Smash Mouth? I think that's a cover of an original song. You know what, Dylan, can we get into opinion time? Because I have something to say.
In this critic's opinion,
that's just like your opinion, man.
Well, I have a right to my opinion, and my opinion is you have no right to your opinion.
The music in this movie fucking slaps.
It's a good soundtrack.
You open with Smash Mouth and you're like, fuck yeah, come on. And then at some point there's a song, and you are going to make fun of me, but this is my weird area of expertise. There's a song when they first get picked up by Donald Faison in the limo, and he's driving them from the airport to like the Universal studio. And there's a song that plays, and the reason I know this song is because it's also on the Zoolander soundtrack, which I owned and was absolutely obsessed with. And it's like, me, myself, and I, just me, myself, and I.
Me, Myself, and I by Jive Jones.
Yes. And I loved that song. It was also in Zoolander. So that one comes on. It's a fucking bop. Then you get the right here, right now, right here,
which is
right
Fat Boy Slim,
now.
I think. Yeah, like
Fat Boy
it's a
Slim.
good soundtrack.
Also, I love that Fat Boy Slim song. And, I didn't realize that it was in this movie, but every time I hear the Fat Boy Slim song, I always thought it was Frankie Muniz's voice saying right here, right now. So I feel like somewhere in my subconscious, I just knew that this was in Big Fat Liar. And I was like, oh, Frankie Muniz. And then lastly, and maybe the fucking best part, is that end scene, credits roll. Are you ready for a blast from the past still? Because this is going to hit you in the fucking Y2K face. You get the Baha Men.
Can you move it like this?
I can shake it like that. Can you move it the Baha Men, they are not a one-hit wonder,
They
because
are a
Who Let the
two-hit
Dogs
wonder.
Out was not where it ended for them, because that was a summer smash hit. This soundtrack is top to bottom A+.
Meanwhile, it's also got Hungry Like the Wolf.
Yep.
It's also got the theme from Jaws, the theme from Jurassic Park are in this. Oh my God. I was just Disco Inferno is in it. Like,
Yep.
there is a lot going on here.
Yeah. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but I do think we should talk about Hungry Like the Wolf really quickly.
Okay.
Something that really stuck out to me in this movie was, obviously, Paul Giamatti is a veteran, right? This is someone who knows what the fuck they're doing. And Paul Giamatti does a scene where we get to know his character and see kind of what a self-absorbed prick he is.
Are you talking about
And
when they're studying his daily routine?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's dancing to Hungry Like the Wolf. And he does such a good job of not taking himself seriously and being silly to this song that it really Corey looked at me and said, this is like watching Michael Caine talk to the Muppets. It was such it was absolutely the same thing, where he was so serious about how fucking silly he was being, and it was just so fun to watch.
He just moves so confidently, like it's the 1,000th time he's done it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Paul Giamatti was in a very small Speedo, and he was rocking it. Listen, it did not look like he hit the gym in preparation for this scene,
which it's
but
certainly
he was owning
it's not
it.
supposed to either. But he's just
Totally.
owning. Yes, he is so charismatically, stupidly himself that it works.
Oh,
yeah,
it's so good. Did I ever tell you about the time that I physically ran into him in Brooklyn?
I don't think you have.
So I used to work in Brooklyn Heights, and I got out of the train and I'm walking, and some guy is looking at his phone, and we're walking in opposite directions, so we're coming toward one another, and I'm when you're surely this person's gonna look up from their phone and realize they're about to walk directly into me. That is definitely about to any moment now. He's gonna lift his head and stop walking directly into my path. So I realized oh my God, this guy is not gonna look up. And then at the last second he looks up, and I'm oh my God, that's Paul Giamatti. I couldn't believe it. And of course, I'm holy shit, that's Paul Giamatti from Big Fat Liar.
I do love that. I think for me, that's one of the first things I would think of him from.
It is the first thing I would think of him from. He was in, oh God, is it Billions or Succession?
Billions.
And that's the one that's based on Steve Cohen, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
It's definitely not Succession. That's based on the Murdoch family.
Okay, yeah. So it's Steve Cohen.
Okay.
I mean, it's Billions.
Is it good?
I don't know.
This was not conducive to the conversation then.
No, it must be good though, because Paul Giamatti's in it. But anyway, yes. When I think of Paul Giamatti, I think of Big Fat Liar. And almost to the point where I know that Paul Giamatti has been around for a long time and that he's a veteran, but there was a moment where I thought to myself, was this his first movie?
This is one of his first big things for sure.
Oh, okay. So I was right. I just assumed that I was just going based on my recognition of him, right? This was the first thing I had ever seen him in. But that is actually really interesting, because what a risky move as an actor trying to make it to take on this role in this Nickelodeon Dan Schneider movie. That could have ended poorly for him.
which I was going to totally address now that you've mentioned the name Dan Schneider later from Quiet on the Set, like the clearly monstrous boss.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah. We'll get more into Dan Schneider later.
We got to talk about Amanda Bynes too. I mean, let's be real.
We'll talk more about Amanda Bynes too. So Big Fat Liars 2002. His first credit on IMDb is 1990, but it looks like it is mostly TV acting and bit parts, but he's in some big movies and small parts before then. Like,
Okay.
We did one on the podcast, The Truman Show. He has a tiny part in. He's one of like the assistants in the control room with the
Oh, I do. We talked about him. We recognize that was him.
It's such a small part. So I'm guessing like if you're getting these small parts, he's in Saving Private Ryan in a small part, but then you get an opportunity to be basically the star, the lead antagonist of this movie. Yeah, I totally get why you would take that role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go back.
Jason Shepard is a prolific liar. He is late for school because his local bully, Brett, steals his skateboard. He runs to school, doesn't make it in time. He sneaks in the window. His teacher, played by Sandra Oh, is about to get pissed at him because he doesn't have the paper that was due. And he makes up another lie on the spot about his dad choking on a meatball. And obviously he ends up getting caught, even though he's believed for a minute, because he lies and he gets his best friend Kaylee to cover for him on the phone, pretending to be the secretary at the office. It's a whole big production. He's good at coming up with complex lies on the spot. He gets caught and he has to bring this paper to the school. He has 3 hours from the time, like school probably ends at probably 2:00. He has to bring this paper by 6:00. Once again, he does not have a skateboard. He is riding a bike there and he gets smacked by a limo, which they mentioned later. Marty Wolf is in town for the shooting of Whitaker and Fowl, but they mentioned that they're in like a small town in Michigan. And I'm like, is that they shoot a lot of movies in small town Michigan?
Yeah,
with
Urkel.
That part's not important. But while he is in the car with Marty Wolf, famous producer, he drops his paper and then nobody believes him. Nobody can trust him anymore when he gets there. So he ends up in summer school, but the bigger problem is not being in summer school. It's his dad telling him, I just can't trust you anymore. Which I guess let's address really quickly. A lot of this movie is about his relationship with his dad and him wanting to earn back his dad's trust. This is not like a Disney movie where one parent is dead. His mom is there. She's just kind of a mute. Like, she
seems a little bit like, you know how they say that in order to have one abusive parent, you have to have one parent who's withdrawn? Because a healthy present parent wouldn't let the other one be abusive.
I guess so, because she's mad withdrawn. She's not there.
She seems like she is just on Xanax and drinking martinis, and the dad is out here like, I don't trust you. Like, it does beg the question of like, is this kid just trying to cope?
I was gonna say the dad does not come off abusive at all.
No. I'm just joking.
It does seem like these parents are both a little negligent that they're letting him get away with all this. And you're so right, though. She does come off as just like, she may as well be Casper because she's not there.
I also think it's so funny that they're like, we can't trust you, so we're going to go away for the weekend and leave you by yourself. Go to summer school. It's like, oh, I thought you didn't trust me.
We can't trust you, but we're not canceling the spa weekend. Come on.
Yeah.
Which they leave him with his sister, Janie, I think is her name.
Yeah.
But Janie, I guess, just does not give a fuck either because she doesn't say anything. You know what? Poor Jason just needs some more attention.
Yeah, that seems to be the problem, is that he is neglected at home. And if CPS could get involved, maybe he'd stop lying so much.
CBS, but he's on the Universal backlot.
Anyway.
Where was I? Meanwhile, Kaylee is alone for 2 weeks because her parents have ditched her to go to the Grand Canyon, which she's definitely old enough to go to the Grand Canyon. Like, why wouldn't they bring their daughter with them?
Did your parents ever go on vacation and leave you guys alone?
Actually, yeah, they went to London without me and Zach.
Wow, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah. I don't think my parents ever went on vacation without me. There were times that my parents went on vacation with me and I wanted to be dead.
Yeah, there are plenty of times we went on vacation and I wish we hadn't.
Yeah.
The one I always think of that Zach loves to bring up is when Zach got to bring his friend Paul And in the hotel room, they used a dirty sock to rip out my loose tooth.
Oh my God. Where
Not a
did
fun
you guys
vacation
go?
memory. I think we were in like, I'm trying to think, were we in like the Poconos or Hershey or something like that? It was some very small trip though. And it was like, oh, we have our own hotel room. And they had their own hotel room, probably because they wanted to be away from the kids. But meanwhile, they couldn't hear my screams of, "Ah!" And Zach laughs. Like, if I bring it up now, he cracks up and he's like, yeah, that was probably a really dirty sock too. And I'm like, fuck you.
Oh, that's so disgusting. Yeah, I can understand why parents don't want to go on vacation with their children.
Yeah.
So, in order to rectify the situation and to earn his dad's trust back, Jason decides that he and Kaylee are going to get on a flight and go to California to confront Marty Wolf about the stealing of his script.
They just need him to admit it, which I do love that when he gets to his office, he's just there to get him to call his dad. He does not want a story by credit. He doesn't want anything. He just wants, just tell my dad that I did my paper.
Yeah. But Marty Wolf cannot give that to him, can he?
Marty Wolf cannot. And Marty Wolf, it's honestly so goddamn savage the way that he multiple times leads him along. Marty Wolf is by far the better liar. Because there are multiple times where Jason falls hook, line, and sinker for him being like, oh yeah, look, you know what? Let me call your dad. I should do that. And he goes, here, would you like to smoke a cigar? And the way Paul Giamatti with such glee lights this paper on fire and he goes, what have I done? Stand back, son. Let me try and stamp it out with this lit cigar. He's just like chewing all the scenery and he does a great job of it. And then later in the movie, you would think Jason like would at least type the phone in first, type the number in the phone first before he gives it over to Marty. And instead he lets Marty call again. And Marty's like, guess who I'm in this room with? It's Jason Shepard. And you better bring backup. And it's like, yeah, you trusted notorious liar. Like, oh, no, who would have thought that the wolves would eat my face, says man who voted for the Wolves Eating Faces party? Like, come on, Jason.
Yes. It's so good. So ultimately, they have to come up with a plan to get Marty caught. And so they decide to basically terrorize him until he agrees to own up to the truth. So they do multiple things to him, such as dyeing him blue, dyeing his hair orange.
At first, it's kind of like more childish pranks, I feel like. At first, they're just really messing with him. Yeah, they dye his skin blue, dye his hair orange, super glue his earpiece to his ear, and mess with his car so that every button does something different than what it should. And every time he tries to brake, it is the horn.
Yeah.
Which I will tell you, that alone would probably get Marty killed. Because when I'm going to work in the morning, there was somebody. Oh, God, this is so not important to the movie at all. But every day when I turn on to Route 110, you can make a right on red, but it is difficult and you're supposed to stop first. And there's a sign that sometimes lights up and says, no, turn on red right now.
Mm-hmm.
So like 5 cars back, it's me. 6 cars back, it's some random lady. And she's honking that we're not turning yet. And I'm like, you can't see. You don't know if we can turn, but I'm keeping it cool. Somebody makes the turn. Now we're 4 and 5 cars back or whatever. She's honking again. And I'm like, keeping it cool. Gab, it got to a point where I was like, I'm not turning based on principle. I was like, I looked in that car. I was like, is somebody dying? Then you don't get to be an asshole. Like,
Amen. I'm going down and I'm taking you with me. Like, that's it. We're both fucked now, bitch.
Yes, I was not in my right mind.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I definitely suffer from road rage.
I said, this is Farmingdale, baby. It's a dog eat dog world. We got cats eating cats. We got fish munching fish. Which that has stayed in my head, that line, since 25 years ago, or however
Me
old this
too.
movie is.
That line, and also Big Fat Liar, BFL, Biffle, as it's come to be known. I say that, but I will say it with like, I'll be like Dylan Pollock, DP, Dilly Dill, as he's come to be called. Like,
the other thing I think of all the time is Jason gives him an out for why he's blue, why his hair is red. And it's because in the movie, the antidote makes it that when it does not cure him, but instead his emotions are now showing up in ways And so Marty is describing this, and he yanks the glued in earpiece out of his ear. And it's the way Paul Giamatti delivers with such conviction. The emotions in this movie are just so powerful.
Yes.
I will forever think Paul Giamatti is a great actor. And quite frankly, should have won the Academy Award for this movie.
That is a bold statement. He wasn't nominated, was he? This was not.
No, he was not. I do want to know. So this would have been the 2003 Academy Awards, right?
Yeah.
He would have been supporting actor, would you say?
Yeah.
Let's look up what his competition would have been, and you tell me, do you think he would have been worthwhile to be nominated?
Let's see.
So the winner for Best Actor in a Supporting Role that year was Chris Cooper for Adaptation. The remaining nominees are Ed Harris for The Hours, Paul Newman for Road to Perdition, John C. Reilly for Chicago, and Christopher Walken for Catch Me If You Can. Now, I've never seen The Hours, so fuck you, Ed Harris, and put Paul Giamatti for Big Fat Liar in there and give him the nomination at least.
I'll tell you what. I think who won the adaptation guy?
Chris Cooper for Adaptation.
I think, and you know what? I may deny this another day. Thank God this is just between me and you and no one else is going to hear it. I think Paul Giamatti was probably better than John C. Reilly.
Mr. Cellophane himself?
Mr. Cellophane himself. I think Marty Wolf is a better character.
He's also much more significant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like John C. Reilly's not that important to that movie.
Yeah, and John C. Reilly played that role really well. It's not his fault. The role just had less.
Yes.
Paul Giamatti is doing it all. He's hitting every note.
Did they dye John C. Reilly blue? I don't think so.
I don't believe they did, Dylan.
Does he get kicked in the testicles once? Emotionally, maybe, but not physically.
Not physically.
Exactly.
Yep. Does he have a little monkey best friend? I don't believe he did.
I'm just saying, to me, one of the most iconic lines in cinema, and this was not delivered by John C. Reilly or Paul Giamatti, but is in Big Fat Liar. They told me about a little blue car. They didn't say anything about a little blue man.
Yes.
Whoever the tow truck driver guy is who got his one line, you're an icon, sir.
We also have to discuss the use of Eiffel 65, I'm Blue, Dabba Dee Dabba Die.
An iconic anthem of the 2000s.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's like a video series on YouTube called like How This Song Got Written or something like that. And we watched the episode on Blue Dabba Dee Dabba Die. And it's really interesting because it was written exactly the way you would think. They were like, yeah, I don't know. We just made it up. And then we couldn't figure out what else to say. So we said Dabba Dee Dabba Die. That was it.
Have you heard all the ways people get that song wrong?
Yeah, if I were green, I would die. That's what your stupid brother thought it was.
And I'd beat off a guy, I've heard people say.
Oh, no, I don't know about that part.
Yeah, there's a lot of people getting that one wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I feel like we should mention? And I read about a deleted scene that I feel like would have made this make even more sense, but it works just as his childhood toy, Mr. Funnybones.
Yeah.
Who's not introduced really until like halfway through the movie as this thing that is very important to Marty.
Yeah.
Now, I was going to say it in the facts, but I'll talk about it now because I feel like it would have added a little bit more to the movie. And knowing it now makes it make a little more sense. So Mr. Funnybones, apparently in a deleted scene, he talks about, not Mr. Funnybones, this is Marty Wolf talking about Mr. Funnybones, how Mr. Funnybones is the only good thing from his childhood in Paramus, New Jersey. And it is a reminder to him to do anything to keep from going back there.
Oh, okay. I think I would have liked that because truly Marty Wolf is a piece of shit to everybody, but we never really find out why.
And maybe the problem is that would have humanized him a little bit too much and made you feel bad for him because the whole point of this movie, once we get there, is to ruin Marty's career and his life.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure we feel like he deserves that, which we totally do. And maybe this would make you feel bad for him.
Yeah.
I do like, though, that even at the end of the movie, he has not moved back home to Paramus, New Jersey. He is still in LA. He's just a clown now instead.
Yeah.
There's also, I think I saw a deleted scene where his office is like being dropped off to his car, but they literally have his entire office in like a giant box and they're putting it on top of his car. I don't know. I think it's a different car too than the one he had.
Yeah.
Again, it seemed like it wasn't important.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? Earlier we had a comment from somebody who was like, why are you so upset about a movie being long? It's like these are details that we didn't need. The movie works fine without them. I'm very happy that the movie was the length it was, even if I missed that small detail.
The argument would be that this movie, if anything, is too short, is what we're saying. And you know
Yeah.
what? I went last weekend to see Fast Times at Ridgemont High in the movie theater, and the director did an introduction of the movie. And she
In
told,
real life?
yeah,
Oh, that's exciting.
yeah, she was
She
at the
didn't she
theater.
direct Clueless too?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
right after she did Clueless and did an intro and Q&A. She did an intro to Fast Times.
you sent me that.
Yes.
Okay.
And she was doing the intro and she was like, I never really know what to say for these, but I'll give you like one story. So obviously Sean Penn is in Fast Times as Jeff Spicoli, and he ends up being like the big star of the movie, basically. He didn't have an agent at the time and he was becoming a big deal, and everybody was like, clearly this guy's talented. So the executives kept telling her, put this guy in more, put this guy in more, get him in more of the movie. And you can tell when you watch it now that like, oh yeah, there are times where he's just there. Like he doesn't even need to be in that scene. He eventually goes up to the director, Amy Heckerling, at one point and says, you know, I think I'd rather leave them wanting more of me than having too much of me. And she was like, I never had another actor ever say anything like that to me, but I just think he was a smart guy and he made a lot of smart choices, clearly. That's what I feel like this movie, Biffle, does for me, that it leaves me wanting more of like, it's such a cool way of, oh my God, they're behind the scenes in Hollywood and I want to see more of that culture and stuff. I think it's part of the reason I like movies so much is I love the idea of the behind the scenes of movies. So you see them on the back lots, you see like just costumes from movies, props. And I think that seems really cool. And this is the first movie that really introduces you to like, yeah, this is how they do these stunts. This guy does special effects, stuff like that.
Are we in the facts? Do you have anything about like the Universal backlot and like whether or not those props were real that they were seen with?
Very minimally, but I can tell you that they really did film. I assume it's a way they kept the budget way down. This is all filmed on the actual backlot.
Yeah, which is super cool. Okay, that's good to know. So, we've given Paul Giamatti his flowers. It is now time to talk about Amanda Bynes, because a young Amanda Bynes in this movie, I actually at one point paused it and said, it's crazy how this 13 or 14-year-old girl is acting circles around all of these adults. And it is such a shame to know where she ends up, because holy fucking talented.
I think she got screwed out of most of her money too, didn't she?
That I don't know. I actually don't really know a ton about the Amanda Bynes stuff. Obviously, I know I have seen her. I've seen the tweets. But like it is so wild how she truly at such a young age had the talent of like a Carol Burnett, and like what the fuck happened?
Yeah, it just feels like, I wonder if it was just burnout, because the ironic thing is we also already covered on the podcast the last movie she ever did, which was Easy A.
Yeah. And she's great in that.
And she's not old in that either. So I think she just reached a certain point and was done. Did not want to, could not do anymore. I heard Frankie Muniz talking about in an interview too, doing this movie. And he said, he was like, well, Malcolm in the Middle shot 9 months out of the year because that was 22 to 24 episode seasons. He went, so we always had offers for the remaining 3 months of the year. And he was like, and it's not the world's toughest job, but that's a lot for your kid. So I imagine it had to be tough just working constantly as a child. I work regularly as an adult now, and it's tough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. And also keep in mind, they also had to like meet the minimum requirements for school and stuff like that. And I'm sure they had like friends or maybe hobbies or something. I truly, I think the older you get, the more you can appreciate how hard it must be for a child to be holding the responsibility of an adult, right? Like you can't call out sick or, decide you want to take the day off if you're Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, and I think it's a lot of the time too, you're partially responsible for your family now too. Like I can't remember, I feel bad that I can't remember his name, but AJ from The Sopranos, I remember him saying it was a huge deal for my family that I got this part. Like that I was on an HBO show making money for all of us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're the breadwinner now.
Yeah, obviously you think of Macaulay Culkin. Like it becomes a very twisted dynamic.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. But I think you know, to keep it on the more positive side, Amanda Bynes shines in this movie and almost in a way where you feel I personally was like, you know, Frankie Muniz could hold his own and was certainly like a very charismatic kid, but it is like watching Amateur Hour when he's in a scene with Amanda Bynes.
I think Frankie Muniz is like kind of big this whole movie, and in a way that I really like. I like him in this movie a lot. She sort of slips into like almost impressions at times, and she does it very well and very seamlessly. Like the scene where she is all of a sudden the secretary at Marty Wolf's office. I just think
Yep.
it's so great the way it feels like I'm watching the Amanda show. Like she's doing her own sketch. Like I feel
Yeah.
like she could have been improvising there,
Yeah.
which is crazy
Yeah.
to think about. Was this 13, 14-year-old girl improvising this scene?
I mean, it feels that way because it has the same when you watch a comedian do improv in a movie, it feels different from when the dialogue is scripted because it feels so much more natural. You know, it feels like it's funny in the same way that like going to see a stand-up special or like a sketch comedy. It feels like it's really coming out of this person's mouth. It's not premeditated by a writer. And you feel that so many times when she opens her mouth. It's just it's unfair to put her even in a scene with somebody like a Donald Faison, who's a vet.
Yeah. I mean, this is a movie too where they're surrounded by like it's a good cast of
Yeah,
people.
let's go into that really quickly. So, first of all, when we are introduced to the bully who steals the skateboard, that's Taron Killam from
From
SNL.
SNL, which I made sure to list like him from things because he is it's such a small B plot in this movie. He is so fucking funny
So funny.
as such a stupid nothing character.
Yep.
But there are a couple of lines he has that are so good. They're talking about their plan in Kaylee's place when she's tutoring him for summer school. And he's not even on screen. But you hear him in the background going, I took a dookie and it clogged the toilet. Oh no. Oh boy. Oh wow. And it just is so funny because he is so believably dumb.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
obviously it's on. Yeah, maybe the thing I think about most from this movie is his and Frankie Muniz's back and forth. Where Frankie Muniz, he says like, "I bet you wish you had your skateboard," and Frankie Muniz goes, "Fully developed brain, skateboard. I think I'll take the brain, but I have your skateboard." Like it's almost. It feels like I'm watching a live action Simpsons type character. He's so dumb.
Yes. And then personally, I think my favorite moment of his is he is involved in this plot because he agrees to, in exchange for having all of his summer school homework done for him by Jason, he is going to pretend to be Kaylee, Amanda Bynes, and stay with her grandmother while they're in California. The grandmother is like blind, she can barely see, so it'll be fine as long as he just like wears her clothes and hangs out for the weekend. So he is hanging out with Kaylee's grandma. And of course, at one point we're like, I wonder what they're up to. And we cut to them and he is working out and the grandma is holding his feet and he's doing sit-ups. And then cut again to grandma lifting like yarn on a stick as dumbbells. And he's going, come on, grandma, come on, grandma. And she's like, I'm struggling.
It's all you. I ain't helping.
Yes. And Corey looks at me. Corey has this one really old lady client. She's like 82 years old or something. Her name is like Ethel. And he goes, that's me and Ethel.
It is one of my like every time he shows up, it is a laugh out loud moment.
Yes, truly. He is so funny.
But we also have to point out, and I'm just going to breeze through them because there's a lot.
Yeah.
Sandra Oh, John
Yep.
Cho, Lee Majors, Donald Faison. I'm definitely forgetting people.
The girl from Final Destination.
Amanda Detmer.
Oh my God. Oh my God, Dylan, I had a fucking conniption because the woman who plays the PR representative,
Amy Hill, is that her name? From
it's Mrs. Kwan
I knew you were
from
going to say
The
that,
Cat in
from
the
The Cat
Hat.
in the Hat. She's also in so many other things. Like she's in 51st Dates and she's great in that too.
Oh my God, that's her?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. I just
Is
like
it Amy Hill? I'm not sure I have the name right.
I guess because these two movies are so close together, she was like roughly the same age that I was just like, oh my God, it's Mrs. Kwan.
Yeah, it's Amy Hill is her name. She still works.
Oh, good for her. I love her. She was great in this in a fucking tiny little part.
She does the best indignant bite of food I've ever seen in a movie.
Yes. Yes.
The best revenge bite, because she says she's like the VP of publicity, and Paul Giamatti hits her with, "You sure you're not the VP of Twinkies?" Like Paul Giamatti kind of sounds like he's an old-time radio guy, the way he says everything.
Yes, he does. He really does.
But she really gets him back, yeah.
Oh my God, I was so excited to see her.
I feel like
I can't believe that's her in
people
50
who are
First
in this movie. Yeah, she's in 50 First. She's in so many things. She's got
Wow.
200 credits.
Good for her. There are so many other people, though, and I'm sure we're forgetting, and they'll come up, but it is a really stacked cast. But you know what? 2002, we were at the heyday of Nickelodeon. Like, that was a big, I'm sure it was low budget because of what they could reasonably afford, but that was a big deal. Like, that was a major motion picture. Nickelodeon had a lot of backing, and it did well in the box office, I'm assuming.
It totally, I think it helps too that, like we said, it's such a low budget because, like you and I said, you can tell it's just being filmed on the back lot, which is their back lot. So that's all free.
Yeah.
So I imagine all the money is just coming from paying your actors, booking time in these things, maybe, which then you're sort of paying yourself, and then it becomes Hollywood accounting, of course. But
yeah,
I'll get into the budget and box office at the facts, which I'm not sure if we're quite there yet. I'm trying to think, is there any other big things facts wise that you want to get to?
You mean opinion wise?
Yes, opinion wise. I'm sorry.
Not off the top of my head. I think to me, what's really interesting about this movie is that I think I've seen it 4 times, and all of those times were probably before 2005. And watching it, it felt like I knew every beat. Like I was so locked in. And it's not a complicated film.
What can we talk about? There's 2 lines that Marty Wolf says that I'm like, I don't know if they go with those now, but I remembered them really well.
Yep.
Well, I remember the second one well. I did not remember him getting the studio head's wife's name wrong every time. And the very lovely Shaniqua, it's Chandra.
Yes.
And then him going, "Would you excuse us, please, Sinead?" I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was definitely like a oh shit moment. Funny, but definitely probably wouldn't happen today.
And let me quote this line. This is a direct quote. These are not my words. These are Marty Wolf's words. "Pedal to the metal, Ricky Ritardo."
Yes.
Jesus Christ. And you know what? Yeah, that's a bad guy. So that works for me. Yeah, I don't like that guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's just pretty good, man. And you know, they just paint enough stories to make you believe he's a villain to everyone he sees. Like Donald Faison's character talking about him taking his headshot, writing loser, and mailing it to faxing it to every casting director. Yeah, this guy's a monster. No wonder people hate him.
Yeah. You have to believe though that people like that don't like enough people know that they're a monster that they end up fucking themselves out of work.
You know what else sticks in my head from this movie? And it's just the way that it's said. Because John Cho says twice, Custang. So Custang is something I've remembered since I was 10 years old for some reason.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we have to talk about Jaleel White.
Jaleel White, of course, who played Urkel on Family Matters and played Whitaker in Whitaker and Fowl.
Well, he really, I would say he plays himself in this movie.
Yes. And he's really good.
Yeah.
What is it he says at the end? He's like, "I didn't wear the glasses and suspenders all those years for free."
Yeah. And you do feel like, oh, damn, okay, cool. This movie really, and again, as a 10-year-old who gives a shit, but this movie really changed my opinion of Jaleel White, because as a 10-year-old, I was like, that fucking guy is such a nerd. And then I was like, oh, he was just playing a nerd. He's actually really cool.
I didn't watch really Family Matters besides like if it was randomly on Nick at Night. So I think if I think of Jaleel White, I think of this as quickly as I think of Urkel. And I'm like, yes, Jaleel White. Yeah.
Yeah. It really separated the two for me, where it was like, there's Urkel, and then there's Jaleel White.
Oh, I forgot about another bad Marty Wolf line when he says to John Cho, whose name is Dusty, he goes, Confucius say, easy does it, Skippy, which I'm like, whoa!
Yes, that was alarming.
So Paul Giamatti, offensive to the Asian community, the Black community, and the mentally challenged community. So
Yes.
he checked off plenty of boxes. That's a fact. Now,
That
Kat,
is a fact.
should I get to the facts?
Let's do it.
I want the truth.
Face the facts, Dukes.
Facts have no place with an organized religion.
Start with our ratings on the Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter. It has a 45% with 41
what?
fresh reviews and 50 rotten. These are the moments I love that you don't do any prep for this podcast because I'm just
No.
revealing everything.
No, this is it's all information to me.
It has an audience score of 44% with an average score of 3.1 out of 5. On IMDb, it has a 5.5 out of 10. It was released February 8th, 2002. It had a budget of $15 million and grossed $53 million. It opened in second to Collateral Damage, and that weekend you also could have seen Black Hawk Down, A Beautiful Mind, I Am Sam, and Snow Dogs.
Oh my God. Snow Dogs.
You could have done a
What's
double
up?
feature of Big Fat Liar and Snow Dogs.
Oh my God. What were we doing?
Now wait, is Snow Dogs the Paul Walker one or the Cuba Gooding Jr. one?
Cuba Gooba and Cisco.
That's not 8. Wait, is 8 Below the one with Paul Walker then? Is that what it is or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
That we were too old for that movie.
The critics' consensus, though there's nothing that offensive about Big Fat Liar, it is filled with Hollywood cliches and cartoonish slapstick, making it strictly for kids.
Hard disagree.
Let's see what Roger Ebert had to say about that. He gave it 3 stars and said the movie's charm is that it has confidence in this goofy story and doesn't push it too hard.
I would agree with that.
Nancy Chernin from the Dallas Morning News, it's hard to think of 2 young actors who could pump as much life into a movie as Frankie Muniz and Amanda Bynes do in Big Fat Liar.
I agree with that too.
Lou Luminick from the New York Post, the sort of movie that hands critics a dagger and invites them to plunge it right in.
Oh my God.
Sounds extreme, yeah. Damien Cave from Salon.com never pushes its pranks far enough to reach laugh out loud success and never gives its actors enough comedic support. And Stephen D. Great Anus from Decent Films can't quite work itself up to affirm that lying is bad, but proclaims with great conviction that the truth isn't overrated. Which is kind of fair because this whole thing is to prove he wrote this paper, but he lies to his parents so many times in the course of it.
I guess that's true.
He's like, no, we can prove that we were telling the truth by lying our asses off.
Yeah. About this one thing, we were honest.
Yeah.
Everything else just means to an end.
Gab, you want to hear some letterbox reviews?
So badly.
This one from Eddie Burback, who is also a YouTuber, was having the time of my life applauding, cheering, hollering until the credits. Screenplay by Dan Schneider. Felt like I got hit by a truck.
Oh, you had to know it was by Dan Schneider. Everything in this time period was by Dan Schneider.
picked
He was
this movie, Gab.
unstoppable.
I had no memory that's who it was. And I remember I went, la-di-da-di-da, do the research for the movie. And I looked on IMDb and I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God. I'm shocked that you did not know that.
I did not remember
He
that.
was Nickelodeon. He was the Marty Wolf of Nickelodeon.
He sure was. This one from Cinemonica. 8-year-old me thought this was peak cinema. And to be honest, she was right.
I agree.
C.W. Scott, I've watched this movie dozens of times, and I can't believe I only realized on this watch that the movie about a kid who lies a lot with an antagonist whose surname is Wolf is literally the story of the boy who cried wolf.
Good job.
This one from Diana K. Gotta say, I stand any movie that starts with Smash Mouth and ends with Baha Men.
Absolutely.
Damn straight. The movie is directed by Sean Levy. This was his first feature film. He also directed Cheaper by the Dozen, Night at the Museum, Free Guy, and the highest grossing R-rated movie ever as of the time of this recording, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, wow.
He also produced Stranger Things. Like, he's a big name in Hollywood now. I think he's directing the next Star Wars movie that's coming out.
Wow. Good for him. I mean, listen, he's obviously talented.
I mean, I don't think he's the greatest director ever, but you know what? I love his first movie. The screenplay is written by Dan Schneider, the one from Quiet on the Set, who also wrote Good Burger, iCarly, Victorious, Zoe 101, Drake and Josh, and All That, with story by Brian Robbins, who created All That, and Cousin Skeeter.
Oh, I loved Cousin Skeeter.
It wasn't
He was a
bad.
puppet.
He was a puppet. I think maybe I'd like it more now. I have much greater fondness for puppets now. I feel like that's why every time I'm like, you gotta check out these Muppet movies, Gavin. You're like, that's sure was something.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I can't believe you. Okay. Maybe you would like. You know what I really loved? There were two shows as a kid that I loved on Nickelodeon that I don't think get enough credit today. One was As Told by Ginger. Did you ever watch that?
I did not like As Told by Ginger. I think though it's because I was a young boy and that was like, that's a girl show. It's not,
Yeah.
There's no Batman in As Told by Ginger.
Oh, it's true. But sometimes I say like I'm a little seal girl and people don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, oh,
Nope.
okay. And then the other one was I'm certain if you didn't like As Told by Ginger, you weren't watching Taina.
I vaguely remember that.
Taina it was like a one season show on Nickelodeon, and I always confused the actress with Christina Vidal. Maybe it was Christina Vidal? We definitely talked about this on Freaky Friday.
I feel like we did.
Taina.
If only I even knew how to spell
Nickelodeon. Yep, Christina Vidal.
Taina. Yeah.
Yeah. Taina. Yep.
Oh yeah, we definitely talked about this then when we did probably Freakier Friday.
Freaky Friday and Freakier Friday. It was so good. It was just like a one season thing. She like wanted to be famous. I don't know. It was garbage, but it was so good.
Word.
Yeah. Anyway.
Starring Frankie Muniz as Jason Shepard, who you might know from Agent Cody Banks, My Dog Skip, Malcolm in the Middle, or as the driver of the number 33 Ream Brothers Racing Ford in the NASCAR Truck Series.
Good for him. He really found his calling in life. You know, we didn't do a lot of talking about him in this movie. I gotta be honest with you. I think he is an absolutely okay actor.
You know what? He does a really good job of like, I don't know if this is something he does, but he feels like such an average kid that you relate to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's easy to see yourself through him.
Yeah, but he again, I have not seen Agent Cody Banks, but speaking from this, My Dog Skip, Malcolm in the Middle, I just feel like he does the same thing every time and it works, but there's not a whole lot of variety.
I definitely think of these movies we're talking about and shows, My Dog Skip is probably the more impressive performance, but that's because there's so much more dramatic there. But I think when he's doing comedy, it's the same kind of shtick. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll never watch My Dog Skip again.
No,
for the
I'm
rest of
good,
my
man.
life. Yeah.
I don't need to see
Never.
Luke Wilson like that ever again.
No, and I don't ever need to see another movie that ends with a dog dying ever again.
What's the one, Marley and Me? I remember the first trailer. I was like, there's a movie I will never see.
Yep, never
Yep.
gonna watch it. Do you remember there was a movie about a bunch of dogs, and then there was all this controversy because it was like
a dog's journey or a dog's purpose, and it was like,
yeah,
we threw him in running water, but it was safe running water. Like it was like, why would you even tell me this?
Yeah, like why did I need to know about this? Remember when you made me watch the movie with the two dogs and the cat?
Homeward Bound. Now
Homeward Bound.
I explained to you how they filmed it. It was all done in a totally pleasant way. But oh my God, if it doesn't tug my heartstrings every time I think of, he was just too old.
Oh God, I tried to watch that on a flight and the woman next to me was like, "Are you okay?"
Oh, I'm just picturing Shadow. Peter, I miss you so. God, I love that dog. And I'm sure he's been dead for decades, but he will forever live in my heart.
He is gone.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Damn.
Right here. He's right here in my heart.
Oh God. Anyway, I'm good on the dog movies.
You're my boy, Shadow.
So we'll never talk about My Dog Skip, and I'll never be able to confirm or deny Frankie Muniz's performance, but as I recall it, it was fine.
Well, I recall it being good, but keep in mind, I also was probably like 7. I was like, this is exquisite cinema at the time.
We saw that in the movie theaters.
Yeah, and I regret it. I was like, Luke Wilson, he's always a nice guy, and he's like beating kids and dogs. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God. I remember Gog and Pop took us to see that movie. I imagine Zach had to have been there, but afterwards they were like, oh, we've made a terrible mistake. Like I was inconsolable. It was
not
bad.
the movie to bring young children to, which is ironic because it's made for young children. I don't know. They botched that one.
Yeah. Kids movies. There was a weird period of time where kids movies were like, you know, I feel like the Disney cartoon kids movies were like very heavy-handed in their like Bambi lessons, and Pinocchio was scary and like all this stuff. And then it got a little bit better and more lighthearted, and then they were like, we're back to fucking up animals and making them scared.
What was also, I feel like those old Disney ones are like, let's see, a parent's dead and then evil will get defeated. And then like there's a brief period in the early 2000s where we're like, how about everything is morally gray and people are abusive? I was like, whoa, too real, too real.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. My Dog Skip is not like, we go on a quest and I use a magic sword to defeat the dragon. No, people are dealing with PTSD from wartime.
Yeah. And dogs are getting beaten with shovels.
Oh. And as I was saying, also starring Paul Giamatti as Marty Wolf, who you may know from The Holdovers, Sideways, Cinderella Man, and Billions. I thought he won an Academy Award for that movie, The Holdovers. I think he just won a Golden Globe.
I gotta be honest with you, I'm beginning to realize that the only thing I've really ever seen Paul Giamatti in is this movie. And that time we were like, oh, hey, he's in The Truman Show.
He's definitely in other stuff you've seen, but this is like the Paul Giamatti movie, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Also starring Amanda Bynes as Kaylee, who you may know from Hairspray, She's the Man, and Easy A, and obviously The Amanda Show. Also starring Amanda Detmer as Monty, who you might know from Fun Destination, Donald Faison, Sandra Oh. All these people we said already. And Taron Killam as the brainless Brett, who you may know from Saturday Night Live. This is what I found interesting. He was on Saturday Night Live and Mad TV.
Oh, wow.
How many people could say that? I feel like it's a short list.
Yeah.
And lastly, R.I.P. Grandma Pearl, played by, she was only given, she doesn't have a first and last name on IMDb. Her name is Sparkle, who you may also know as elderly women in Man on Fire, Aunt Cookie in The Nanny, and Old Jewish Woman in Wedding Crashers.
Oh my God. In The Nanny, she's
Aunt
like
Cookie in one episode.
Aunt Cookie.
She's definitely she's not like the mom, if that's what you're thinking of.
No, there's the grandma. Yenta.
Yeah, no, not her.
Okay. Is that what it is? Yenta?
I don't remember, but she's not Fran's grandma.
I remember my mom telling me that actress was actually younger than all the other ones, but I don't think that's true. I actually think that somebody just
Are you sure
made
you're not
that
thinking
up.
of The Golden Girls with Sophia?
No, I'm thinking of. Wow, we should watch The Nanny. It's such a good show.
Yeah, this is the grandma from The Nanny that I feel like you're thinking of.
Hold on. Yeah. Yetta, right? Yetta?
And Morgan Gilbert.
Yeah.
Or Gilbert, I don't know.
She was born in 1928. Those fucking losers lied to me.
Yeah, she was
My mom
not
was like,
younger than...
she's young. She's just wearing makeup. And
That
I
is
was like,
the thing they say
oh,
about the
wow.
Golden Girls. Sophia was younger than the rest of them, and she's playing B. Arthur's mom.
I don't know.
Come to me for more Golden Girls facts.
I've actually not really watched The Golden Girls.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. No, I hear that.
Are you ready for the fun facts, Gab?
If this hasn't been fun, Dill, I don't know what is. But
That's
please.
why anywhere between 2 and 2 million people listen to each of our episodes.
Tell me the fun facts.
This is Amanda Bynes' film debut. Lindsay Lohan was first cast as Kaylee, but decided to take a year off from acting.
Wow.
I don't know if she would have been better in the role.
No, I don't think so.
John Cho was asked to do the role with an Asian accent and turned down the part at first, saying he didn't want young people thinking it was okay to laugh at someone's accent. In John Cho's entire career, he has not once played a character with a fake accent.
I'd love to hear that.
I love John Cho in general. I think he's a great actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. The blue dye was tattoo ink that was sprayed in several layers onto the body, occasionally throughout the day to keep it topped up. According to Paul Giamatti, it was easy to apply, but it was difficult to get off, particularly his feet, which stayed blue for months.
That is so funny. Also, I do think it's important to note that in multiple times in this movie, we see the paint not really on with a lot of
You mean the fact that you can see
integrity.
like the blue a little lighter in spots for sure?
Yeah, like there's spots on his back where it's like you could tell they only did one coat. Like it's really funny. And I will say, I'm sure you've seen floating around the internet the recent interview that David Cross did about being blue as Tobias Funke in Arrested Development.
No, what is this?
Oh my God. So he did an interview recently where he was talking about like how amazing it was to be on Arrested Development and how fun it was, but that the worst part was when he like joined the Blue Man Group and they dyed him blue because he said it was so uncomfortable. You can't sit, you can't like touch yourself, you can't cross your arms, and that like it was just so hard to be in that paint, and then it was almost impossible to get it off.
Oh, yeah, no, it does not seem like fun. And I guess you can get away with it being imperfect because it's supposed to be that he just got it from swimming in this blue pool.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it did it as a kid's movie, like no one is questioning the integrity of the paint, right? So it didn't really matter. But it did make me think that maybe they just like didn't want to do that many layers on him to avoid the ramifications of we're never going to be able to get this off you.
Yeah. When Marty first jumps in the pool, not knowing it's been filled with blue dye, if you pause at the right time, he is beginning to turn blue before even touching the pool, showing that they're really just slapping a blue filter on the camera during the initial dive into the pool.
Oh.
And I really did go back, like after reading that fact, and go really slowly through it. And you can definitely see it. He does start to blue. It's not something you're ever really going to catch with the naked eye. You know what I mean? You got to be looking for it. I'd also seen, speaking of fun facts, that this one could not be confirmed. There was a fun fact that was like, George Lucas can be seen when they first get on the set. And I was like, no, when they first get to the studio. Yeah. I was scrolling through frame by frame on a lot of scenes of like, anytime they showed up on the studio lot, I was like, are you George Lucas? Are you George Lucas? George Lucas ain't there. I don't know who came up with that.
Yeah. That would feel like a very expensive shot to do.
So there was a podcast interview that Frankie Muniz did somewhat recently, and he was talking about Paul Giamatti. So Marty Wolf is wearing Prada shoes whenever he's in character in this movie. He had such horrendous blisters from running around in these Prada shoes for the last act of the movie during the chase. So I just think that's funny to hear. I'm like, oh, that's another, give that man the Academy Award for this movie, because he was bleeding, pussing for us.
Honestly though, if you've ever gotten blisters from bad shoes, it's like that is a fate worse than hell.
Yeah, that's rough. And I imagine that's several days of shooting.
Oh, terrible.
Marty tells Jason that he will call his dad and tell him he wrote Big Fat Liar, Aaron Brockovich, and Saving Private Ryan. Paul Giamatti played Sergeant Hill in Saving Private Ryan and had a cameo scene with Julia Roberts in My Best Friend's Wedding. So I guess it's sort of like he has a connection to both of them. I don't know why I thought when I first read that he was in Aaron Brockovich. I'm like, no, he wasn't.
Yeah, but still, okay.
For the scenes in the prop house, there was a guard on set whose job was just to make sure that nobody touched the Grinch suit.
Okay, why?
I don't know, because this has got to be, I would assume, after they filmed it. So I guess they've just preserved that costume really well.
I mean, it just feels like, why wouldn't they just be like, we'll just get the Grinch scene out, like the Grinch costume out, and you can put it back after, because there's only one moment where they show it.
And they prominently show it.
Well,
like that is when they first enter, they're like, look at this, it's the Grinch suit and a velociraptor.
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti originally wanted to play Marty Wolf with a full goatee, which he was saying in an interview. He was like, I think I always try and grow facial hair for characters because they think it'll be interesting, and they always just tell me to shave. At the last minute, the studio said they didn't want any facial hair. After an intense negotiation, director Sean Levy managed to salvage the chin patch, which he thought was funnier because how absurd it looked on a man in his 30s.
Yeah, that's 30s.
Yeah.
How old is Paul Giamatti in this movie?
Okay, well, the movie is 2002.
Uh-huh.
Paul Giamatti is born 67.
Oh my God, he's the same age as our parents. My parents.
Wait a
Your
second,
parents
man.
are
He
older.
would have only been... No, he would have been 35. I was like, 25? And then I was like, no, that's 1992. Idiot.
35?
Yeah.
You know, Paul, I want you to sit on something for a second. Bear with me here. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think about your brother, the one and only Zach Pollock. And then I want you to think about Paul Giamatti in this movie. And then I want you to tell me how the fuck those two people are the same age.
I don't think he looks that old in this movie.
I just think of Paul Giamatti as like an adult man.
Yes, he's very clearly the adult. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I hate that. I'm turning 34 soon, as are you. And this is the first time that I've ever been like, oh, I don't like this. Like, I want off this ride.
I feel like I have to think of it all the time that I'm like, oh, I'm old. And like, Gab, I'm sure you remember I got really into football at a time. And for decades, Gab, I was younger than everyone. And now when I think about it, I'm like, every player on that field is younger than me. Every one of them. Wow.
Don't even get me started. I mean, avid baseball watcher, and I'm like, they're like, he's 32. It's a miracle. He's still out there, and I'm like, oh God,
incredible. His body can still hold up.
Yes, there's a professional CrossFitter, who is known for being really old. He's got like 4 kids. His hair is all gray. He's very old, but he doesn't compete in the age group division. Once you pass 35, you can compete against people that are your own age. It kind of evens the playing field a little bit, but he still competes with the young bucks. And they make all these jokes about how he's getting older by the day. And he's like, he's got to rest more and warm up more because he's so old. And we thought he was like 45, 46. And we're always like, damn, good for Travis Mayer. He is so old and he's out there and he's crushing it. And the other day we found out he and Corey are the same age. They're both 36. And we're like, oh my God. So
does he look way older?
I think so, but I think it's more of like how he like presents himself. Like, if you look up Travis Mayer,
I have looked this man up on Instagram, and you know what? they really be making this man feel like he's that old. He does not look old to me at all.
He doesn't look
He's got a little bit of
though.
gray in the beard.
But like,
he looks younger than me, Gab.
No, he looks fitter than you. He looks like he's in better shape. He's healthier.
Gab, I knew that.
But I don't think he looks older than you. I mean, I don't think he looks younger than you.
You fucking asshole.
I mean, I don't know. You still look 13 to me.
Let's move on to the next fact, because I don't like where that just went.
Okay.
Sean Levy and Paul Giamatti went to college together.
How good I'm happy for them.
So I don't know, maybe that had to do with him getting the part. The movie within a movie, A Big Fat Liar, is written and directed by Monty Kirkham. Kirkham is an amalgamation of Carrie Kirkpatrick and John Hamburg, both of whom did uncredited rewrites on the script. Carrie Kirkpatrick also wrote Over the Hedge and Chicken Run, and John Hamburg also wrote I Love You Man, Meet the Parents, and Zoolander.
Oh.
So there's definitely a lot of writing talent.
Yeah.
The star of the movie within a movie was originally scripted as a celebrity cameo. First, they were thinking Will Smith, which is crazy that at the time they were thinking of getting Will Smith.
Wow.
Then Shaquille O'Neal.
Amazing.
On the set, Donald Faison, gotta give the man credit, told Sean Levy that it would be more heartwarming if Frank, the struggling actor and limo driver, was the star of the movie.
And he was right.
You know what? It works at the end. I'm like, good for Frank. Yeah.
Yep. He's keeping it real. He's keeping it real.
See our Clueless episode to understand that reference. Gab, I'm done with facts.
Well, then there's one thing to do.
What's that, Gab?
The verdicts.
Oh.
But the thing is, we're going to edit that and it's going to say it's time to go to the mail. So this whole banter is pointless.
I'm leaving this whole thing now.
Okay, good.
Because that's now the transition into the mail.
Fuck.
Mail time! When you control the mail, you control information.
Mom asked me to ask you if there's any mail for us here by mistake.
What?
Okay, Gab, starting with, we've got a comment from Scotty Cameron on So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Scotty.
Great episode. There's a bit of dark irony here in that I'm pretty sure Mike Myers was in this movie, then went to star in a movie with a real murderer, Joe Sun. Joe Sun was in the Austin Powers movies, which he doesn't say, but he was the parody of Odd Job Random Task, who throws the hat.
I don't remember.
I think he threw his shoe in the Austin Powers movies is the difference.
Okay.
Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
Yes, honestly. Yeah.
Joe Sun was in the Austin Powers movies, and he went to prison for robbery, then was also convicted of rape 2. The double whammy.
Oh.
He also went on to murder his cellmate, if I'm remembering correctly. Oh my God.
Oh, jeez.
I know Sun was a criminal, but I can't recall if he successfully killed someone. Memory is unreliable. As Gab learned, it can change the color of a car. I don't remember that, Scotty. But
is he talking about my cousin Vinny? No.
No, it's got to be something we said that we don't remember.
Yeah, it's okay.
He said one other thing about Corey and reading the Absolute comics. Corey's reading the Absolute DC titles in the trade paperbacks, hardcovers. I figured since graphic novels and trades are the most popular way to read comics, especially now that comics are just seemingly written for the trades. I find it interesting that Corey's favorite is Absolute Green Lantern. That's seemingly the one that's discussed the least. My brother's favorite title is Absolute Wonder Woman. I think in general, he really likes Kelly Thompson as a writer. If my brother were as big a G.I. Joe fan as I am, I'd recommend Scarlet to him because Kelly Thompson wrote that story too. For me, I'm torn between Absolute Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman because they're all so well written. Absolute Batman might edge them out because Batman is just my favorite character. He's my fellow Batwag. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what we call people listening to Jump on the Batwagon, a podcast you're not listening to right now.
Nope, and will not ever. But keep talking about me though, please. I love it. Dylan always sends it to me.
Because Batman is just my favorite character, and Scott Snyder is one of my favorite writers. The first comic run I had pulled at a comic shop was Scott Snyder's Batman run from 2011 to 2016. So there's definitely some Scott Snyder and Batman favoritism at play. Also, as a Scott, I have to support a writer named Scott.
Sure.
Then Scotty had a comment on my short about There She Goes, where he said, it doesn't have There She Goes in it enough. So thanks for that, Scotty.
Thank you.
Then I will go to, we have an email from our primary Canadian listener, Kyle, on Big Fat Liar.
One of the things that I kept thinking about hearing that you guys were going to look at Big Fat Liar is it might be the first movie I watched that gave me an inside look into how Hollywood worked at all. And obviously it's ridiculous, but it's a wildly entertaining movie. And I was curious, Gab, I know you're going to love this. There's another question. Do you guys have other favorite movies that gave you an inside look into the making of movies in Hollywood? I know for myself, one of my favorite movies of all time is Singing in the Rain, and the lesson it provides in showing the transition from the silent film era to the talkie era, and it's absolutely brilliant. Do you guys have, it doesn't necessarily even have to be classics. One of my more modern favorite movies that did this was Tropic Thunder. What are your favorite movies that are about the making of movies? I love you guys. This podcast is so entertaining, and I'm really curious to seeing if Big Fat Liar makes the list.
And you can hear Kyle on the Film Realist podcast, another podcast you're not currently listening to. Gab, do you have any favorite movies that are about movies?
Oh, man. So this is such a cop-out, but in college, I remember watching Adaptation, and I loved it. But I don't remember anything about it. I just remember that I loved it.
That's a great answer, because I would have said the same thing, because I remember getting really into that movie in college. Tropic Thunder is another great answer. For some reason, I don't even know if Bowfinger is about the making movies. That's coming to my mind.
What about The Producers? I guess it's not a movie, it's a Broadway show, but I love that movie.
Inception, I know, is also like a metaphor for making movies in a lot of ways.
Don't say that.
It is.
I didn't like Inception.
Blah. No? Okay.
No. But that's interesting. I've never heard that take. I'm trying to think of Dylan, you have to play me these questions before we record so that I don't sit here going,
I don't even listen to it before we record. What I would say also, the funny thing is, Gab, we were hanging out a couple weeks ago with Zach and everybody else, and we were playing a game. It was like a movie game where you have to give, clues to what the answers are. It's the Blockbuster board game. And it's so funny because we talk about movies all the time. My brother talks about movies all the time. But the moment you put the pressure on in the situation where we had to like give clues to these movies, it was like, yes. I've never heard of a movie before. The one I keep going back to, and we were laughing about it the other day, is you had 101 Dalmatians, and you were only allowed to give one word for the clue. And what was your clue? Do you remember? It was Mongo.
First of all, go Pongo. Fuck yourself. It was Pongo, which is the name of the Dalmatian.
Well, time runs out. We don't get that one. And Zach looks at Gavin.
Wait, hold on. You're skimming over the best part, which is that first I said Pongo and nobody got it. So then I said, I'm not doing it in the right accent. And then I went Pongo because they're British.
And you're going, come on, guys. Pongo.
Pongo.
I didn't realize you were doing an accent, Gav, that you're saying that now. You were showing Pongo. It was just the pronunciation. And time runs out and Zach goes, you didn't think maybe Cruella would have been a better choice?
Why didn't you say Cruella?
Yeah.
Not my
I did
finest
just look
hour.
up movies that are about making movies, and The Disaster Artist is here. That's a good
Oh,
option.
I love that.
A lot of these are not ones I would have picked. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I guess, but I wouldn't really think of that one.
Corey loves that movie. I've never seen it.
I think Tarantino. I'm just gonna say it. I think he peaked with Inglourious Bastards, and everything else has been good afterwards, but not great.
Sure.
Some of these are coming up, and I'm like, these are not movies about making movies, but it doesn't matter. Super 8, I see here, Be Kind, Rewind, Sunset Boulevard, Silent Movie. I don't know. A lot of these are movies that I'm not super into. Adaptation, we got that. The Player is a really good one, actually, with
Never seen it.
Tim Robbins, who's the star of Shawshank Redemption. But
Of course.
I
Also,
love him.
famous Mets fan. Famous Mets fan.
Is he? I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah, he was in the booth with Gary, Keith, and Ron.
That, honestly, maybe that's a movie we should check out sometime, because I've only seen it once, and I remember thinking it was really cool. So maybe I need to rewatch that. Ed Wood comes up a lot, but I've never seen it. Ooh, if Boogie Nights counts, I would definitely say Boogie Nights, although that's about making skin flicks. It's really about like a decade with these porn stars, but that's not important right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the best answer we came up with was definitely Adaptation, though. That was the one we both felt good about.
I would like to do that on this podcast, by the way.
I would absolutely be down to. I think we mentioned earlier in this episode Adaptation, because we were talking about Paul Giamatti should have been nominated for an Academy Award.
Yeah. But instead, the adaptation guy won it.
Yeah, Chris Cooper, who then went on to be the bad guy in the Muppet movie.
Ah. All right.
I could laugh. All right. Should we get back to the verdicts for Big Fat Liar?
Let's do it.
Do or do not. There is no try.
The guilty will be punished.
Sentence is death.
Starting with my verdict, I'm going to say, Gab, that Big Fat Liar, BFL, Biffle, as many have come to know it, it's just delightful, man. It's so... My brain went easy breezy, beautiful. It's concise. It is funny. It is high energy. Like, there's not really a dull moment in the movie, and it never takes its foot off the gas. Almost to a detriment, like we said, maybe you could have developed Marty Wolf's character a little bit more. Maybe you could have given the mom a line in the movie, sure. But God damn it, I love Frankie Muniz, Amanda Bynes, Paul Giamatti. Kill it. Every scene. Castang. It's Movie Watch Before You Die to me, Gab. What say you?
Well, Dylan, I think that it is far from cinema. I don't think that it is a movie that is going to stand the test of time in the way that Gone with the Wind or The Wizard of Oz has. But there is magic in a movie that is made for children that adults can also enjoy. I think those are few and far between. And the ones that do it and do it well are timeless. And you can enjoy it as a kid, as an adult with your own kids. And God damn it, this movie is just a fucking delight from start to finish. I absolutely love it. I have always loved it. I went in with fear that it was not going to be as good as I remembered, but it was even better than I remembered. It is not a movie that is going to change anybody's life, but it is a wonderful 90-minute breezy watch. If you have kids, they will love it. If you've never seen it and you're an adult, you will love it. I cannot believe how bad the ratings were on Rotten Tomatoes. It is such a good movie, and I stamp of approval, 100%.
Yeah, it's not The Godfather or Citizen Kane, but it does its job more than efficiently enough.
Yeah.
As a comedy, it got laughs, and that is your first job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
I love Big Fat Liar.
I love it too.
I can't believe I love a Sean Levy directed movie this much.
Oh, you don't like his other stuff? He's bad? You hate him?
I think he's kind of bland in general.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I feel like I could tell that this was his first movie at times, because I was like, I think he's trying to do some interesting things here.
Like what?
I can't remember. I remember there was something in the movie that I was like, that's an interesting shot, but now I don't remember.
I did notice that they shoot Frankie Muniz quite a bit from overhead looking down.
I don't remember that. When?
He's sitting at a desk. There's something else I need to point out. When he starts skateboarding,
Mhm.
Corey made a very big deal about the fact that he is skateboarding Mongo.
I don't know what that means. He has
So
said
neither did
before
I.
that so there's a big episode of Malcolm in the Middle with roller skating.
Do 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 do.
That is absolute cinema.
Yes,
And
it is absolute cinema.
he said, he was like, it was really hard for me to pretend to be bad at roller skating because I was a really good roller skater. So I wonder if that applies too with skateboarding, because it seemed like the one scene they show him on a skateboard, he seems comfortable.
That's exactly what I said. But apparently most people put their standing foot is on the front of the skateboard and they push with their other foot. And then when that foot goes on the skateboard, it goes on the back, right? You can imagine that. Mongo people, mongoloids, if you will, they have their foot on the back, and then the foot that's pushing goes on the front when they're done. And you know what's funny? Now that I'm saying this out loud, I do remember in Tony Hawk Pro Skater, there was a setting that you could make your skater Mongo.
I remember you could flip. I didn't remember it being called Mongo. It sounds like quite the insult. Pick up the pace, Mickey Mongo.
It does. But yeah, and so he was like, oh my God, he's skating Mongo. And I was like, oh, you really needed to drop that jargon, didn't you? You needed me to know that you knew what that was. But then I was like, oh, that is kind of a weird, quirky thing. But it doesn't seem like something you would do if you weren't familiar. So anyway, all of this to say, it's a great movie. You should watch it. And apparently Frankie Muniz has been on a skateboard before. So listen, if you have opinions on that, if you remember Tony Hawk Pro Skater, if you had your Mongo people, let us know. Write us an email. You can email us at movieswatchbeforeyoudie@gmail.com. You can send a voice note. You can send a picture. You can send a very long email with pictures and voice notes. We don't discriminate, and we might even read it on the podcast. If you are not so much into emails, but you want to participate, you can give us a rating. You know, like you can subscribe. Dylan, this is off the rails. If you are so inclined, we have podcasting friends at the Hall of Pods podcasting network. And if you like this podcast, you'll like their podcasts. There's also a link tree below that includes things like our social media, our really cool merch store, and my Venmo, where you can personally send me money in exchange for nothing. Just because.
If you've listened this far into the podcast, wait, did you have one more thing you had to fit in there? Because I think you were killing it.
No. I was just nervous and I thought there was something else, but there wasn't. So thank you for interrupting me.
If you've listened this far into the podcast, please comment. Would you rather have a fully developed brain or your own podcast? Because I have a podcast.
But I have your podcast. Okay, listen. Have a good night.
My grandma will notice if I don't even show up at all.
Hey, Kaylee, you got a plunger? I took a dookie and I clogged up the toilet. Oh boy, oh no, what a mess.